At the beginning of the story, we see Emmeline and Dean. Emmeline is the most beautiful and intelligent girl in the college. On the other hand, Dean is a very bad, incompetent boy. Many college boys were attracted to Emmeline. All of them were crazy about her beauty, and Dean used to sit all alone because he had no friends. Although Dean also likes Emmeline a lot, but he never had the courage to propose to her and sleep with her. Then, we see their Professor Christensen, who tells the children in the class that now you guys should quickly go to the island and prepare a good school for the local people there. And this is your project, so do it carefully. Otherwise, I will give you very low marks. Now they still have 1 day's time to go to their island. So that very night, a friend of Emmeline's comes to her and asks her to go to a party. At first, Emmeline refuses him, but after much persuasion, he agrees, and she also goes to the boat party. Dean had also come to this party. The party is adult and there are drugs involved, so this boat is raided. In such a situation, everyone's intoxication wears off and everyone starts running here and there. In this stampede, poor Emmeline falls into the sea, and to save her, Dean jumps into the water. Now Dean and Emmeline sit on a small boat tied behind the ship, and as soon as he sits on the boat, Dean cuts the rope, because now he too is feeling scared, because if the police catches them, they may go to jail, and perhaps their future may also be spoiled. Now Dean goes to start the engine, but he sees that there is no engine inside this boat. And by then the police and the ship have also left, and now they are left alone here, where there's water all around. Then after some time it starts raining heavily, due to which very big and deep waves start forming in the sea. Then somehow both of them spend their night on the same boat. Next morning, when both of them open their eyes, they see an island, seeing which both of them start going towards that island. While in the classroom, their Professor Christensen learns that Emmeline and Dean have disappeared from that ship. Here they avoid the rocks and finally reach the island. Dean finds a flare gun in that boat and takes it. And now both of them start going inside the island, which is very beautiful and very cute to see. Now they slowly roam the entire island, and finally they go to the highest point of the island, from where they are seen all around. Only water was visible from a distance. Because of this, now these people had accepted that now both of us will never be able to go back from here. After roaming around the entire island, both of them return to the beach, where they see that their boat has disappeared from there. Actually, he had not tied the boat. Therefore, the waves of the sea took that boat with itself somewhere in the sea. Then slowly it becomes night, and now both of them light a fire and sit peacefully at one place. Emmeline checks her phone. Is it possible that it might now have a network? But unfortunately, there was no network in his phone. On the other hand, in the college, the parents of these two put a lot of pressure on Christensen and say to find our children quickly. Otherwise, we will file a case against your college. Then the next morning, Dean goes swimming, where Emmeline sees Dean naked for the first time, and seeing his physical body, she becomes quite attracted towards him. After this, they build a wooden house to live in and eat the fruits growing on the trees to fill their stomach. And now, by spending time together like this, both of them became very good friends. One day while walking on the beach, Dean sees a human skeleton. Emmeline would also see him, and she gets quite scared after seeing it. Dean tells Emmeline not to be afraid, and anyway it's just that there is a skeleton. And with this, both of them become intimate. Then the next morning when Emmeline wakes up, she doesn't see Dean anywhere. So she goes inside the island to find him, where she finds Dean, who is digging a hole. Actually, Dean wants to bury that skeleton inside this pit. Emmeline tells Dean that, are you crazy? Why did you leave me here alone and come here? Dean says, you were sleeping, so I didn't want to disturb your sleep. During the conversation, Emmeline falls and injures her knee. Dean takes Emmeline underwater so he can clean her injuries. After this, after coming to the beach, he met Emmeline with his mom. He says that my mother died in a car accident, and Dean himself was the cause of that accident. Believes, and that's why he used to live quietly and isolated from everyone, but Dean is very happy to come to this island. Meanwhile, in the city, Emmeline and Dean's parents work hard to find their children. They also sent a rescue team to find their children in the sea. They sent a helicopter, run ads about his disappearance on news channels, and also put up posters and templates of him in the city. But despite doing all this, they do not find any trace of their children. One day, Emmeline and Dean are deep inside the island. Then they hear the sound of the helicopter, hearing which Dean comes running outside. But unfortunately, by the time he comes out, the helicopter has long gone from there. Then Emmeline also comes there and asks Dean why you did not fire the flare gun. So the Dean tells that I looked for the flare gun, but could not find it. Then when both of them find that flare gun, they come to know that not only the flare gun, but many of their things are missing, like Emmeline's toothpaste, water bottle, etc. due to the disappearance of all these things. Emmeline was getting very angry, and she gets very angry at Dean and shouts that all this has happened because of you. You were the one who separated the boat, and now we are stuck here. Then one day, Dean hears a voice and he goes after it to see when suddenly a black panther appears in front of him and Emmeline also follows him. Now, Dean runs very fast in the forest to save his life, but after going some distance, his leg gets stuck in a branch and he falls. And then the Black Panther also attacks him, and then Emmeline also reaches there running away. She sees that Dean has killed that Black Panther, and seeing this brings her back to life. Then one day when both of them were sitting under a tree, a bottle of water and toothpaste fell on them from above. That means a mischievous monkey was sitting above. The monkey throws away all the things but does not throw the flare gun, which is a lifeline for both of them. Then Emmeline picks up a banana and the monkey is tempted, and the monkey falls for one of Emmeline's bananas and throws down the flare gun. As soon as Emmeline finds the flare gun, fire it in the air. Dean says, "What have you done? Now how will we get out of here? Now, if someone comes to help us, how will we signal him?" On this, Emmeline says, "Leave it, you also try to get out of here. You are not doing it. I am doing something." Then after they got a helicopter, a sound is heard on hearing, which both of them come running to the beach. And this time they are rescued through helicopter and brought home. Everyone is very happy when they come home. Then one day Dean comes to Emmeline's house and talks about his love for her. But during those talks, Dean understands that Emmeline no longer has any interest in him. Emmeline invites Dean to a party. Dean goes to the party, but Emmeline doesn't meet him in any special way. So Dean goes straight from there to his mom's grave. After a few days, there is a party again. Emmeline sees Dean getting wet in the rain outside. Emmeline runs to him and the two kiss passionately. And with this headless story ends.